High atop the red hill of Lhasa, Tibet, a monumental structure stands as a testament to the rich cultural heritage and historical significance of a nation, the Potala Palace. From afar, this grand edifice appears as a magnificent fortress, a silent guardian over the city of Lhasa. It's a veritable treasure trove of Tibetan history, religion, and culture. Built over 13 stories, the palace soars more than 375 feet into the sky, its white and red facades contrasting starkly with the deep blue of the Tibetan sky. The Potala Palace is not just an architectural marvel, it's a symbol of a people's resilience, their faith and their unwavering spirit. This palace was the winter residence of the Dalai Lamas, the spiritual and temporal leaders of Tibet for over 3 centuries. Each brick, each statue, each mural within its walls tells a story of the people it has sheltered and the faith it has nurtured. Now recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Potala Palace has transcended beyond just being a monument. It has become a beacon of Tibetan Buddhism, attracting pilgrims and tourists from all corners of the globe. Its grandeur is not just in its physical appearance, but in the rich tapestry of history and spirituality that it weaves. Its history is as complex as it is fascinating. The palace has seen the rise and fall of dynasties, the arrival of new faiths, and the resilience of a people in the face of adversity. Its walls have borne witness to countless tales of devotion, sacrifice, and enlightenment. Each chamber, each hallway, each courtyard is a silent storyteller, holding within its confines centuries of Tibetan history. But the Potala Palace is not just a relic of the past. It continues to stand tall, its silhouette a distinctive landmark in the Lhasa skyline. It continues to inspire, to captivate and to intrigue, reminding us of the indomitable spirit of the Tibetan people and their vibrant culture. So, journey with me today as we delve into the intriguing past of this architectural marvel. The story of the Potala Palace begins in the 7th century, during the reign of Songtsen Gampo. This visionary Tibetan ruler, known for his military prowess and diplomatic acumen, is often credited with the inception of the palace. However, it wasn't a monument to his glory, but a romantic gesture of grand proportions. Songtsen Gampo constructed the first Potala Palace for his bride, the Princess Wencheng of the Tang dynasty, a union that was as much about love as it was about political alliance. Now let's cast our minds back to the original structure of this palace. A far cry from the imposing edifice we see today, the initial Potala Palace was a modestly sized yet intricately designed structure, nestled amidst the rugged beauty of the Red Hill. It was a testament to the architectural prowess of the time, a confluence of Tibetan aesthetics and Tang dynasty influences. Over the centuries, the palace underwent substantial transformations. The original structure was unfortunately destroyed during the turmoil of the 9th century. It remained in ruins for many centuries, a melancholic reminder of its former glory. However, the essence of the palace, its cultural significance and symbolic value, endured, preserved in the collective memory of the Tibetan people. The evolution of the Potala Palace mirrors the history of Tibet itself, marked by periods of prosperity, followed by turbulence and then rebirth. Each iteration of the palace, from its initial inception to its current grandeur, has been a reflection of the era it was built in, embodying the aspirations, challenges and spirit of the Tibetan people. The Potala Palace we see today is not just a structure of stone and wood. It is a living testament to the resilience and culture of the Tibetan people, a symbol of their past, a beacon for their future. Thus, the foundation was laid for a structure that would become a symbol of Tibetan Buddhism and its people. However, the original palace did not stand the test of time. It was the 17th century that brought a new era for the Potala Palace. Enter the 5th Dalai Lama, Losang Gyatso, a visionary who saw the need for a spiritual and political hub that could serve as the heart of Tibet. He initiated the reconstruction of the Potala Palace, a project that was to take nearly half a century to complete. The palace was built on the ruins of the old structure, its foundations strengthened, its walls built higher, and its halls expanded. The Potala Palace was not merely a building project, it was a statement of purpose. It was to be a palace that was fit for the Dalai Lamas and a beacon for Tibetan Buddhism. The fifth Dalai Lama ensured that the palace was built to be an embodiment of the spiritual and temporal power of the Dalai Lamas. The architectural style of the Potala Palace is a testament to the ingenuity and resourcefulness of the Tibetans. The palace was built using local materials, primarily wood and stone, and designed to withstand the harsh Tibetan climate. The palace's design is a unique blend of Tibetan, Han and Nepalese architecture, reflecting the cultural exchanges that have shaped Tibet's history. The layout of the palace is as symbolic as it is practical. The White Palace, the living quarters of the Dalai Lamas, is situated at the bottom, representing the earthly realm. Above it is the Red Palace, the spiritual center of the palace, symbolizing the celestial realm. The entire reconstruction project was a feat of engineering, architecture, and artistic expression. It was a testament to the determination and vision of the fifth Dalai Lama. The Potala Palace, once a symbol of power and authority, was now also a symbol of resilience and rebirth. The Potala Palace, now standing proudly, was ready to witness centuries of Tibetan history. From the fifth Dalai Lama onwards, the Potala Palace became the winter residence of the Dalai Lamas. The grandeur of the Potala Palace is deeply intertwined with the spiritual and political leadership of the Dalai Lamas. For centuries, this monumental structure has been the winter abode for these revered leaders, serving not just as a dwelling, but a symbol of their spiritual authority and political significance. The Dalai Lamas played a crucial role in the history of the Potala Palace. It was under their patronage that the palace flourished, evolving from an architectural marvel to an influential center of administration and religion. The palace didn't just house the Dalai Lamas, but it was also the seat of their government, where they carried out their administrative duties and responsibilities. The Potala Palace was also a vital religious center. It was here that the Dalai Lamas performed important religious rituals, and where people from across Tibet and beyond came to seek spiritual guidance. The palace's numerous chapels, shrines and stupas bear testament to its religious importance. The 20th century brought many changes to Tibet, and the Potala Palace was not exempt from these. As the world turned, so did the fate of the Potala Palace. The Chinese invasion of Tibet in the 1950s marked a significant turning point. The palace, once a sacred home to the Dalai Lamas, saw its last spiritual leader, the 14th Dalai Lama, depart into exile. A void was left behind, a hush that echoed through the once lively halls. Yet the Potala Palace's story didn't end there. With the Dalai Lama's departure, the palace underwent a transformation. It transitioned from a spiritual sanctuary into a symbol of Tibet for the world to see. The Chinese government repurposed the palace into a museum in the late 20th century. A place once restricted to the spiritual elite was now opened to the public eye, the curious tourists who came to marvel at the grandeur of Tibet's past. But with this new role came new challenges. The palace, a delicate piece of architecture, had to withstand the wear and tear of thousands of visitors passing through its doors each day. The preservation of this historical gem became a pressing concern. The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, also known as UNESCO, stepped forward, recognizing the Potala Palace as a World Heritage Site in 1994. This recognition underscored the palace's global cultural significance and initiated a series of preservation efforts. The Chinese government, too, took measures to preserve the palace's integrity. They implemented visitor limits and invested in restoration projects, ensuring the palace's story continues to be told. And so the Potala Palace, once home to spiritual leaders, now serves as a bridge between the past and the present, between the sacred and the secular. Despite the tumultuous events of the past century, the Potala Palace continues to stand as a beacon of Tibetan culture and history. Its walls whisper tales of bygone eras, its halls echo with resilience, and its spirit continues to inspire. The Potala Palace endures, a testament to Tibet's past, a symbol of its present, and a beacon for its future. From the heights of the Red Hill, The Potala Palace casts a long shadow over the history of Tibet. This grand structure, a testament to the architectural prowess and religious devotion of a people, has stood as a guardian of Tibetan culture and history for over a millennium. The Potala Palace began its journey in the 7th century under the reign of Songtsen Gampo, a visionary king who saw the potential of a palace on the Red Hill. Under his watchful eye, the foundation was laid for what would become the heart and soul of Tibetan Buddhism and a symbol of Tibetan identity. Over the centuries, the palace has weathered the winds of change. It has seen the rise and fall of dynasties, the arrival and departure of Dalai Lamas, and the ebb and flow of political tides. Each phase of its existence has left an indelible mark, shaping it into the magnificent edifice we see today. It went from a royal fortress to a spiritual haven, from a seat of power to a beacon of hope, and from a symbol of a sovereign state to a museum and UNESCO World Heritage Site. Today, the Potala Palace stands as a testament to the enduring spirit of the Tibetan people. Its towering walls and intricate murals tell a story of resilience, faith, and a profound sense of identity. It is a living monument that continues to inspire awe and reverence, not just among the Tibetans, but for people around the world. Its significance extends beyond its physical existence. It serves as a reminder of Tibet's rich and complex history, a history that is intertwined with the rise of Buddhism and the struggle for sovereignty. It speaks of a people's unyielding faith, their undying devotion to their spiritual leaders, and their tenacious fight for their cultural identity. The Potala Palace, a symbol of a rich and complex history, continues to captivate us with its majesty and mystery. It stands as a timeless tribute to the spirit of Tibet, a beacon of hope in the face of adversity, and a testament to the enduring power of faith and resilience.